Welcome to the Dog and Gus Show.
What's up, dog?
Not much, Gus. You?
Oh, not much. Just interested in what we're discussing today.
Absolutely are. We got a new person to talk to again. We're very excited.
Yes,
his name's Andrew. I'm not going to pronounce his last name because I'll butcher it.
Andrew Gharib.
Gharib, there you go.
He's known as the Desert Stranger.
Not dessert.
Not Desert Stranger. His new single, Interstellar, is the first single off his debut solo self-titled album.
Say that again.
Blah, blah, blah. It's out now, and it's an awesome track. Andrew, how are you, man?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm great. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So little backstory. Andrew and I went to grade school together.
Shocking. James knows another one of our guests.
Well, you know, I'm pretty well known around the city. I don't know if you knew that.
Not in the best of ways.
Well, not always. Actually, he was my favorite disturber to play with at Knoxdale Public School back in the day.
We discussed this a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
That can come out wrong depending on who you're talking to.
It's true, but it's long gone, man.
It's true.
And there's no cell phones back then, so
exactly.
we're good.
No record.
And
no record, buddy.
And guys, not to be morbid or anything, but most of those teachers are probably dead.
Or
retired, or senile,
or don't care.
Don't remember.
There you go.
They probably remember who we are, but they don't care.
Yeah, they do.
They're like playing golf all day. And anyways,
and euchre.
Do we have a guest? Oh yeah, we have a guest. Sorry.
No, we don't. Oh, we do?
Sorry, Andrew. We went off the. Andrew, where does the name Desert Desert Stranger come from?
It's not the first time I've heard that.
No,
joke,
I know it's so stupid.
And
sorry.
I think on my Instagram like little bio it says music maker, ice cream eater. So I thought about going with dessert.
Nice.
Actually the translation of my last name in Arabic actually is literally the word stranger.
Oh.
Which
so
is
Gharib is stranger.
It's stranger.
Okay.
Yeah. It's my dad told me a story about because they're born and raised in Lebanon, and they used to give a nickname to people that came to town that nobody knew, like the new person. So they started calling him Gharib, and that was their name. And then I don't know, somehow that stuck. So that's sort of like the new guy, the new person, stranger. It just kind of went that way. Desert is I guess also like my Lebanese roots. So
yeah, makes sense.
That kind of,
and it's Gharib, not Gharib.
I remember
the
correct pronunciation is Gharib, but even my dad, he says it's Gharib. It's Gharib. It's Mel Gharib calling him like, say it right, Dad. Jeez.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
It's your own name.
Come on, Dad. So it's kind of appropriate for here because here he is a stranger in our podcast.
There you go.
Yeah, he's a stranger to you.
Well, most people are because I don't know half the
I've
goddamn
known
world.
Andrew seen me in my formidable years, man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well,
I
came here to tell all.
I was super small and with a huge head that I have now, except I grew into it.
Oh my God!
He's laughing because it's true.
It's true.
All right. So Andrew, break down the song Interstellar for us.
So that was one of the first songs I wrote after I played in a band a few years ago, and then that band broke up, and then I took a bit of a break, and then I started just writing again, and that was one of the first songs I wrote.
Nice.
And I think it's just kind of about sort of a new beginning, starting fresh, and I kind of wanted that uplifting kind of feeling when listening to the song. So I think that came across in the tune, and so I decided that was probably a good choice for the first song to put out. And so that was one of 3 singles I put out last year in 2021, and then the full record is going to be coming out in the fall. So
nice.
Nice, man. You said it's pretty much done, eh?
It is. I got the last master back yesterday, and I'm just going to be sending it to my distributor probably tomorrow, and then I'm going to put up a little announcement, and then the hype train begins.
Oh, we're gonna hype it. We're gonna hype it, baby.
We're gonna hype it.
Exactly. Yeah. Did you produce it yourself?
Steve Foley produced it.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's pretty well known in town, and he's worked with a lot of local artists for many years. He did my band's last record, and it just seemed like a logical extension to go to him again. So he's an amazing producer. He just knows how to get the best performance out of me. Which can be, it can be a difficult process. Like being in the studio can be very tedious, like 100 takes and whatever. There's lots of little conversations going on, but when that song comes out at the end, it's like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's such a great feeling.
Yeah.
So do you think that's a better process, like to know your producer as opposed to going to somebody you've never met before? Because you kind of have that, like, where he can say, come on, Andrew. Really?
Yeah, he can. Yeah,
You know,
Just because he knows you better,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. There's a comfort there.
Mm-hmm.
I think with working with somebody you've never worked with, I don't know if that would work as well. I think the music industry is largely like a word of mouth industry. Who knows who, and I've worked with other producers too that are great. So I don't know. I think it's mostly a referral kind of thing.
Yeah, we're finding that as well with the producers that we're hearing about now, that certain groups or acts will follow that person as they can.
Yeah, and I think that there's a different feel that each producer probably brings, I would imagine.
Definitely.
Because we always bring up JJ, but Jack Nunes was on, and he's like, he seems to be more of that sort of funky, electronic type music, I would imagine. You could say it like that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess.
absolutely.
And then Foley is more, pure rock, right?
Yeah, I mean, he does do a lot of other.
Yeah. Well, I'm
lot
sure.
of
I'm
other
sure they
genres.
both do.
But yeah, I mean, he's definitely a go-to for rock, hard rock, and all sorts of other stuff, alternative.
Yeah, yours is like alternative music.
It's alternative. Yeah.
And I like it a
I'd say
lot.
so,
Actually,
yeah.
it's actually funky.
Yeah,
I like
I do.
Interstellar. I like the
Yeah,
all
the three
all
tracks that we
three
listened to
tracks,
were
yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't know you were a musician as we were growing up. So, what was the role of music in the early years of your life?
Well, I started playing piano when I was 6 years old.
Oh wow! Okay.
And I played for 10 years, and then I picked up a guitar. I quit piano, then I picked up a guitar, and I just started listening to tracks. I took piano lessons from like a neighbor actually on my parents' street when I was a kid, and so I did like the Royal Conservatory thing for 10 years, and then I kind of grew to dislike it. It was very rigid, and it became more like work. I didn't enjoy it, so I quit, and then I started playing guitar and I just started listening to songs. I went to one guitar lesson ever, and that was it. And,
For real?
Yeah.
Self-taught, basically.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you had the music background too, where you could read notes and such. But
yeah,
that must have helped. I'm sure.
I also had a good ear to pick up and just kind of copy other players. I could just watch a video and do what they're doing. you know, for the most part.
Yeah, that does happen. I've talked to a few people that are just like, I did it by ear. I've never had a lesson.
Blows
in
my
life.
mind.
Yeah, me too. It's just like, really?
As I dabble with the guitar. I'd love to take some lessons from my boy here, but
Anytime, man.
yeah. So it's for me. I have to see notes, like I not like actual notes, but actually playing tab, right? And it's tough for me to play just with an ear because I know what it sounds like, but you're just way more analytical because you have that musical gene.
I also used to do, like, the piano had a lot to do with that. Like, I used to do these exercises with my piano teacher where she would make me turn around with my back to the piano, and she would play a note, and then I would identify that note.
Wow, that's cool.
And then it was just like, I don't know how long, like 10 or 20 of those. And it just became like muscle memory after a while. So when I'd hear a song on the radio, it's like, oh, he's playing a G and then a D, you know. And it's just, okay, I can, and then I go home and play it, you know.
He's playing a guitar.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same idea as I do. It sounds great.
Yeah.
You know, and,
awesome.
And you know, we that's a big part of our musical love is that it sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, and whereas someone who's a musician would have a different way of listening to it, and every musician's different. Like I find a lot, like even talking to Rebecca, like her analytics of it is like, oh, it sounds like she's right against your ear, and I really want to sing like that. You know, whereas we wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Andrew probably would.
Well, we're just enjoying it for what it is, right? We're not dissecting each song and going, oh my God, I think he missed a note there. Like, I just don't. It's like, that sounds great.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
It's better when I turn it up too.
Damn right. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, dog.
Hey, yeah. Are there challenges you sometimes feel if the music just isn't going for you? You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to write a tune and it's just not happening. What do? You just you walk away, take a break?
Yeah. Well, on the album that I'm going to be releasing soon, there's actually an extra track that I ended up scrapping.
Okay.
So it was completely finished musically, no vocals, and just for the life of me, I listened to it in my car. I listened to it at the house. I listened to it everywhere. I would sing random melodies along to it, but just nothing was happening. And I at the end, I just decided to walk away. But the music is there. Mm-hmm. If I ever want to go back to it, I could.
It's not ready yet.
We'll go with that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, sometimes like you don't want to fight it too much, because it's got to be a quick thing. And if it's not, then it might suck. It might end up not being very good. So
you don't want to push it either, right? Like it's like, okay, it's not ready. We're going to wait, and you know what? Maybe 6 months down the road, oh my God, here it is.
Yeah.
Do you find the sounds amazing? Like the actual musical part of it, as opposed to the vocals?
I love the sound of the music. It's really cool tune. It's upbeat. It's almost got a country tinge to it.
That's what I kind of noticed that. Yeah.
And so but at the end of the day, I just I couldn't. I even tapped some people to try to help out with that, but it just didn't quite go anywhere. So I was like, just like when you're younger, you just fight against things. This time I was like, I'm just gonna go with what this situation is telling me to do, which is just walk away for now.
Nice.
Yeah,
makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. Who inspired you to be part of the music industry?
To be part of the music industry. Well, when I picked up the guitar, there was I'm a huge U2 fan. For most of my friends know that. And when I first started playing guitar, I used to watch. They had a video from their early '90s tour called the Zoo TV tour, and that just blew my little 13-year-old mind. And when I started playing, I would just put on my guitar and I would try to play along. And I was like, I want to do this. And when I went to my first concert, I think that was really the thing, because I think the first concert I ever went to was U2, and that was a big spectacle called Pop Mart.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like a great sounding show. It was just a visual.
Is that Discotheque? Is that song? Yeah. I actually like that song, but yeah, go on. Sorry.
And like the first time I saw Pearl Jam, I remember just how the crowd freaked out when they started coming through the tunnel, and I think I happened to be sitting like right above where the band comes out, and just the way people were freaking out and the way they came on and started playing. That's my favorite part of a show, by the way, is like the very beginning, like just before they start playing those first couple of notes. Because the energy is at its apex.
Yep.
And I just love that feeling. It's just an amazing feeling.
Yeah, the anticipation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that last week. We went to see Rage. It was like...
Oh, I missed the Rage show.
Yeah,
we saw it in Toronto.
We saw it in Toronto.
So we didn't go to the Blues Fest.
They played at Scotiabank in Toronto.
Yeah, twice. Mm-hmm. They played Thursday and Saturday. We weren't there for the tackle job.
Oh, yeah. Was that you?
No, that was that. Yeah.
Could have been.
No, I love Tom Morello. I'd never go after him. It was insanely energetic.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Even, between, so Run the Jewels open for them. It's like a hip hop group I'm sure you've heard of, but.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically that moment between the two and knowing they're coming on. Like you would say that for any band, like Pearl Jam. I'm sure when we're going to see Pearl Jam this year, I don't know if you're going to that.
Yeah,
show.
Yeah.
We'll link up when we're there
for sure.
But just that like period of time where I was so amped up, like because I love Rage. Like Rage was my favorite band when I was in high school because I just love the beat the shit out of you music. Excuse my language, sorry. But it was amazing to. Feel that feeling in the crowd, and even when at the end when they played Killing in the Name and the lights come on, came on and you could see everybody.
Yeah,
right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Did Zach injure?
He was already injured. Yeah, he sat down the whole time.
What did he do to his leg or something?
Ankle. I think he broke his ankle in Chicago on like their second day of the tour.
Oh no!
And but dude. It
doesn't
matter.
Doesn't matter.
You of course you've seen them. If you've seen them before, Zach's running and jumping, bouncing around all the time, and everybody is kind of, except for the bassist. He sort of just does the same move all the time.
Yeah.
But Zach was like sitting down, but the energy that he brought just sitting there, and because of his voice.
Yeah.
Oh man,
you could tell though. I said to James, he wants to get up. He wants to get. A couple times he kind of went. Oh, I can't do that. But yeah, just an amazing show.
Well, they carried him off.
Yeah, they had to carry him onto the stage and off the stage.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's when we knew we were getting an encore because the guy came out and carried him off. He's like,
Right.
there's no way he's getting carried back on.
Life
you
of a
know?
rock star, I guess.
I know, man. What a trip.
Yeah. So we talked about you too. Would that be the artist? Like, would you like to work with? If you had a choice to work with anybody, alive or dead?
Oh yeah.
Would it
I
be-
mean, I listened to their last few records, and you know, they're obviously they're not a band that's in their prime anymore. And I listened to it, and I always think to myself like, oh, I would have done this, I would have done that, I wouldn't have done that, I would have done this. I would almost like to be like behind the mixing desk with them, just like telling them, okay, no, this is what your fans want.
As a fan, I'm telling you.
That's really presumptuous to say, but you know, I could see like I'm such a super fan that I know like exactly what would make people happy. You know.
Do you feel like they're just kind of like filling in the void for the last couple albums?
I heard they're going to start there's a new $1.8 billion venue going up in Vegas.
Oh, is that right?
Soon, and apparently they're going to be the first artist to play there in a residency. And I was like, oh no, they're doing the residency thing, and I was just like, okay. I mean, it's like they're 60 years old, like. They're going to do whatever they want to do. So the creative peak is well behind them. So for now, it's just like, okay, I'm glad you're still together, at least making music. As a fan, I can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's you know, I like a lot of U2 albums too. I mean, I kind of lost interest in the past 10, 15 years,
Up
maybe.
and down, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, obviously. Beautiful Day, and like that album was just like
Vertigo.
Yeah, I saw them 3 times on that tour.
That was a good tour. Like
it was
he was,
amazing.
and he was always running around the stage.
Yeah.
And
Talk about lights off. Like they started the show on that tour, on the Elevation tour, with the lights on.
Yeah.
So that anticipation, and the lights don't even go down. It just people didn't really do that at that time.
No,
So
it was new.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were always innovative, and you know, like him or hate him, Bono's a great front man. Like,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So what's your favorite venue in Ottawa to perform at?
Oh, well, you know, Live on Elgin's a great room. I like seeing shows there and playing there. It's just it's a good, intimate layout. Great people that run that place. I did go to a show I did play a show recently at Cafe de Cuff, which I hadn't been there since they did like a big remodel.
Yep.
So that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it looked good in there.
It looked amazing in there. Sounded great too. Geez, I guess I haven't played too much in the last few years because I've been kind of on the down low. Because in the
writing,
in the last band we did a lot more gigs, and then when that ended, I just kind of like just went into writing mode.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sure you'll be coming out hot.
Yep.
for sure.
And those venues will be waiting for you,
Yeah.
for sure. Is there a style of music you don't care for?
Not really. I mean, there's ones I don't understand. Like, I don't understand jazz music at all.
Ooh.
And there was actually one time I even bought a jazz piano book, and I was like, I'm gonna learn some jazz piano, and then I just never opened it. I was like, I don't understand what's happening, and it's such a different style that I'm not as exposed to. But I mean, as far as don't like, yeah, I would have a really hard time telling you like I don't like. I mean, there's certain. I like a lot of metal, but there's certain metal vocalists or vocal styles that I'm not super keen on.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it just depends on who the band is.
We're not trying to get you to say you hate somebody.
No,
Andrew,
no.
We're just it's just a
This
question.
is a very
to ask.
political answer.
That's it. Very PC
I don't
about
really
it.
feel that comfortable with
Yeah,
jazz.
so can we move on?
At this time, I'm not sure that I can.
Oh, I love it. What's your favorite part of creating music?
I guess the end of it, like the end of like hearing a completed song,
Finished
is extremely satisfying. Yeah, like the first thing is like I'll just like hear something in my head. I'll hear a hook, I'll hear a note, I'll hear a chord, I'll hear a vocal melody line. You know, I'll go write it down or whatever. That's really fun too, because it's like it's kind of exciting. It sparks something.
Yeah.
But you know, when you get into that process where you're making a song, that's the real like work. So it's not all fun and games all the time, but when it's finished and you hear it through the speakers, it's just like, oh my God, that's the best. There's, and also I will say, like, hearing your song on the radio, that's just something that never ever gets old. It's an incredible feeling.
Especially for people that were pretty much the last generation that listened to the radio, to be honest. Right? Like, I mean, people still do, but it's different types, like Sirius and all that.
Yeah.
Local radio, like you and I would listen to The Bear, or like, remember back in the day, or Shea 106, of course, was always around. But yeah, it's sort of, I would imagine it'd be amazing to have that feeling.
It is, yeah.
How cool would that be? You drive down the road and it's like,
oh, that's me.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah.
No, so
that
cool.
would be really cool.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. If there's any place in the world that you could live other than Ottawa, where would it be?
Other than Ottawa? I guess I'm not terribly well traveled. I've had, actually, I am going to Nashville in a couple months.
Nice.
And I've thought about what it might be like to live there, in a music city.
It's a pretty cool place. I've been there.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long time
You'll have
ago.
to give me some tips on.
I just
stay on the strip, man.
Yeah, that's where I had my hotel room was just like 5 minutes from the strip, and I just walked the strip, and it was awesome. Just like the music coming out of the different venues and stuff. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They've got like 3 floors of 3 bands going all night.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep. Certain places, and it's all right downtown.
Yeah, a music city like that would be cool. I mean, like something more exotic. Actually a few years ago I did go to Ireland.
Nice.
It was a beautiful, beautiful
Great
place.
cuisine there.
Guinness is not cuisine.
Because I'm an Irishman, I could say whatever. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
A background, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was. I mean, the food wasn't terribly memorable.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not known for its cuisine. It's known for its pints.
It's pints.
It's
pints, and
Guinness.
it's Green Valleys. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's beautiful there. I mean, God.
Oh, yeah.
But so you've never been to Lebanon? You haven't gone?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I went. I
heard
haven't
it's
been in many.
beautiful there,
I haven't
though.
been in many years. I haven't been since I was 15 years old. There's been a lot of changes, obviously, but every time I think about going, there's just some kind of unrest that's happening over there, and then the plans kind of get derailed.
Makes sense. Yeah.
My parents will go every few years, but every time they come back, they're like, it's tough. It's there was that big explosion a few years ago.
Yeah,
I remember,
Beirut,
if you remember that. Yeah, that my cousin's house actually got
Really? Wow.
pretty bad. Nobody was gravely injured, but
Destroyed
windows
their
crashing. It was pretty intense. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember I remember it. I mean, I have a few friends that have family there still, including you now, and it was a big explosion, man. It was like,
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
just the before and after. Like you saw the photo before and after. It's like
Yeah.
it was intense, man.
But beautiful,
Yeah, no, I've
beautiful
heard it's
country,
beautiful there.
just
Yeah.
incredible scenery, so much history, of course.
yeah, and the beaches too, man.
The beaches are, I sea dude on the Mediterranean.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's great.
And now a word from our sponsor.
We are currently recording Dog and Gus in the podcast booth at Staples Studio, Ottawa, on 403 Bank Street, where they have everything to help your business work, learn, and grow. They are currently offering a clean and safe place to work with desks, offices, and drop-in memberships. More than a co-working space, Studio is a community to help you work, learn, and grow. For more information on pricing, please visit studio.stables.ca or contact the community manager at studio.ottawa@staples.ca. Hey, Doug, want some hot sauce for your tacos?
You brought your own hot sauce?
Damn right. Have you tried Gringo's Sizzling Nirvana? It'll change your life.
Nice. Are there other types of sauces?
Absolutely. There's different hot sauces for different palates, incredible barbecue sauces, red pepper jam, and salsa. All of them use fresh ingredients, and it can be delivered to your door.
Hey, how do we get some?
Go to www.gringosblazingsauces.com and order some.
Gringos, blazing sauces.
Bring the fire to your food. Well, Andrew, if you could change one thing about the music industry, what would it be?
I mean, I've never been a big fan of the whole streaming thing. It's great for consumers, but for artists, I don't think it's any good. I do like that things are kind of going a lot back to, like vinyl's made a big comeback, obviously, in a few years, and I will be doing my album on vinyl.
Sick. We'll be getting 2, please.
Yes,
For sure.
Yeah, we'll be buying that for sure.
Oh yeah. You know, and when you break down the royalties from, you know, Spotify plays, it's just almost, it's embarrassing. I don't know how people make.
It's less than a penny, isn't it?
It's oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Per stream. 0.0005.
Yeah. I mean, bands are getting by these days on, you know, touring and merch.
Yeah,
especially merch. So I don't have any illusions about making any money on Spotify. It's just a way to get your music into people's, you know, phones or homes or whatever.
Ears.
So, yeah.
Sadly,
So I guess I would change that.
It seems to be the answer we get a lot, actually.
Yeah, very much.
Just because, you know, like even talking to some guys like Trevor Alguire's, like these guys that, you know, it's great for people like Drake or somebody who's, you know, but for the traveling musician, you know, you're basically getting, trying to sell your CD or your vinyl at a show, and people are like, "Oh, I'll just get you on Spotify," you know, and it's like
it's frustrating.
He's like, actually, one guy gave him $25 and said, "I'm going to get it on Spotify, but here's $25 just because I know you're not getting it." He said that's awesome.
Yeah,
you know, like,
but you're not going to run into a whole lot of people like that.
No, unfortunately not. And people say, "Well, I pay Spotify $10 a month or whatever." And it's like,
does that really justify anything at all? Like, really?
No. I prefer. I still have all my CDs, and I still have. I have a bunch of vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
I got into it later. The dog has a lot of vinyl, and you know, he didn't get me into it, but I found an old record player on the side of the road that I refurbished, and
nice.
Yeah, it's a little Sony, like the silver Sony one from the 80s.
Oh yeah,
it's freaking awesome.
That's great.
But yeah, no, it's. I find it more interesting to take it out of the sleeve, or
it's fun.
I have the CD books. You know, I didn't keep any of the actual like containers. I just have the CDs.
It's also way better sound quality.
For sure.
There's no question.
For sure.
But that's why Metallica freaked out back in the day with Napster.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because I mean, their songs were getting stolen.
Yep.
And I think they were the only band that really like.
They were
bat for the industry.
They were one of there was like 2 or 3, but they were the biggest band that was saying, no, this is not happening.
Yeah.
And they still do it.
But of course it did happen. And,
unfortunately. And then it kind of morphed into, your Spotify and your Apple Music and Tidal and all these other platforms for streaming music now.
Yeah. Yeah, and everybody hated Metallica for doing that. Remember? Everybody was up in arms.
That's weird.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, but they're like, you're trying to make money off it. And it's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do.
How do you think we pay all our roadies and all of our music, like our music time, our
guys, this is not
free.
free.
You know, it's like, oh, man. I get it. I get like people saying, but again, that's just the culture, man.
It might have been the way they went about it, though. They're pretty,
well, Lars is a bit outgoing.
Well, Lars is Lars, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
And we're talking like we know him.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a bit hard on us when he's on the show.
Yeah, he's a little intense.
Yeah, he's waiting outside right now.
Yeah, exactly. Lars, we'll lay it in a minute there, bro.
We got Andrew here right now, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
it's your turn,
man. Yeah. Sorry, we didn't swear there. It was just sort of sounded like it.
Yeah. Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I'd say an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So does it come out like? Are you when you're writing stuff? Are you anxious about it coming out because you're taking a part of you and throwing it into your music?
Especially performing.
Yeah.
I'm the worst performer. Like just with the anxiety and I try to enjoy it, and when I get into it and I get into that headspace and I'm up there and I'm doing it, it's great. But then it's just like the lead up.
Yep.
Is like.
It's
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is because I enjoy it. I love the music. I love playing it. But then when I'm actually doing it, it's a bit of a like some mental gymnastics a little bit going on there. I'll say that.
It's like Mark, right? When you get into the stank, you get your stank face on, you're good. You're into the zone.
Well, it's something. The thing that I think, and I can't speak to that because I'm an extrovert and I'm, not afraid to speak publicly or anything. I would probably be afraid because I'm not a musician to play live in front of people. But
it's
however,
fun, yeah.
It's the best thing I could say is you've been there before, and you've been studying music since you were 6. And I'm not trying to tell you how to react. But as a friend, I'm telling you, you're amazing, and you don't need to.
Well, that's very kind.
You don't need to worry.
The biggest one was playing in front of I don't know, must have been 5 or 6,000 people at Blues Fest.
Blues Fest in 2018, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that was
going to come to that
because they were very they're very rigid with their time and the set times and all that. So you have to be exact.
And
so
who were you on before?
The headliner was Rise Against.
Okay, I've seen that.
And 3 Days Grace.
Ooh.
And Deer Rouge.
Okay, I don't know
So
that.
cool.
But yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Must have been a trip for you, man.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. Like, and people ask me like, how'd you get in? How'd you get in? My band's been trying for years. And like, just that, keep trying for years.
Mm-hmm.
It took me about 7 tries.
Yep.
And it's just a timing thing, you know. It's just a genre. Do you fit with the bands you're playing with? Do you have like buzz? Do you have an album out? Are you touring? Are you know? And we just had all those things going at the time, and then you know, obviously we were super pumped, and it was a great time. It was an incredible experience. So never forget it. It just makes you want to go back just every year, you know.
Well, maybe when the album comes out next
year.
year.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah.
So when do you have to apply? When is it? Obviously,
I
Blues
think
Fest is over for this year.
December, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get it in there.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's going in there for sure.
He will.
He will.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Got to put it out there in the world first.
Exactly.
Right?
Hey, you guys grew up together. You sound like him.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we had great teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except you were blonde when we were kids, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I still am. I mean, it's just that it's gotten darker.
Yeah. Okay. Just like you, I guess.
Oh,
I am darker. Yeah, it sort of went sandy blonde. It's a little. I have some product in it, so maybe it doesn't look quite the same.
Okay.
But I still have wavy, flowy surfer hair, man.
yeah, you do,
Yeah.
Johnny Bravo.
We're all jealous. We're all jealous.
I was definitely super blonde though when we were kids.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But you know,
Not jealous.
what are you jealous of?
Your hair.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Not jealous.
I mean, people with hair are jealous of my hair.
no, they're not.
All right, here we go.
God, it's not all about you.
What's your most useless talent, Andrew?
Well, useless talent. Jeez. I don't know. Really got me stumped on this one. When when we were in grade, when did we know each other? Grade 3,
1 through 5.
1 through 5.
We're the same age. So
Okay, so in grade 4, I don't know if you'll remember this. Probably not. It's not about you. Don't worry. Don't worry.
well, it doesn't matter.
I see your face going red a bit there.
Only because I love it.
In grade 4, there was this like math game that we used to play in class, and it's a multiplication game, and there was a multiplication table like 12 by 12, and the game was the teacher would call out, 7 times 5, whatever,
35.
and there you go. You've been practicing.
Skills.
And then, and then like the people would call out. I think they would just either put their hand up or yell the answer. I can't remember, but I destroyed everyone at this game. And as an adult, I can tell you this is most definitely an absolutely useless talent.
Unless we play the game right now.
9 times 6.
I don't know.
Come on.
56.
54, but you were close.
I don't rely on math for anything.
No, it's very true, Andrew. That's funny that you mentioned that. Although math, the good thing is we can do math in our head. I guess that's...
Yeah, I guess so.
The good thing about we can do it. Never mind.
There you go.
You can ask Siri.
Yeah. So, Andrew, if I were to invite myself over to your place and look through your record collection or your music collection, what's going to surprise me in there? I'm going to go, oh my God, Andrew, really? What am I going to find? Something that I wouldn't expect to see in your record collection.
I'm a pretty big John Mayer fan.
Okay, that's shocking. No, it's not.
Well, he's like a virtuoso on the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And also, I used to live in Stittsville a few years ago, and I would frequent the Quitters coffee shop. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It was owned,
I am, yeah.
It was owned by Kathleen Edwards.
Yeah.
Oh.
It has since
Maryville High
closed.
School.
She went to Maryville?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. She's a few years older than us.
Yeah. And I started getting into her stuff, and I just loved it.
Cool.
She's great.
Yeah, she's so nice, too. I was actually really pretty bummed when I found out that she's closing. I didn't really know why.
COVID. Like the business kind of took a hit.
did it.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah,
But
it does
the
suck.
Equator opened in his place, so it's like, you know.
Yeah.
I love
know.
Equator, but it's like it would have been nice if she could have stayed there, you know.
Yeah, I don't know all of the ins and outs. Maybe we'll have her on the show and ask her. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll just,
No, she's
throw
an
it out
amazing
there now.
musician.
I
by the
know.
way. You
I
should-
know the name.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
the name.
No, but her last record is was out a few months ago. And I think she's playing at Folk Fest actually. So
Oh, well, that's right. She is. Yes.
yeah. So I was looking at getting a ticket to go see that.
There's a few shows at Folk Fest I want to see.
Glorious Sons.
Glorious Sons.
Yeah.
JJ Wild.
I really want to see Orville Peck.
I don't know
Oh,
the stuff very
awesome.
well. Yeah.
Do you like Elvis?
Never met the man, but yes, I do like it.
Who doesn't like Elvis, man?
Listen to Orville
nobody.
Peck. He's
I will
he's
look it up.
quite an artist. That's all I'm gonna
Nice,
say.
okay.
He's really talented.
Cool. Have you seen the movie? Elvis movie?
Not yet.
So good.
No, I haven't.
Incredible.
I really want to see
Not
that
yet.
one.
Saw it
I
with
have-
my mom.
I have to
actually.
watch that too.
Yeah.
We took my mom and my sister.
Nice.
And Megan went too, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Sorry, Andrew, that was off target. But so Orville Peck?
Peck.
Yeah.
Orville Peck.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
check him out.
Apparently nobody knows his real identity,
Ooh.
which is interesting. Kind of adds to the mystique.
Wow.
Because he wears a mask. Like he wears this like cowboy hat with like dangling leather.
No, I've seen
things.
that. Yeah, it's kind of like a veil, not
Yeah,
a veil,
veil.
but it's kind of across his. Yeah, I've seen pictures of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's
And his
pretty,
music's like what? Like sounds.
It's like Elvis, Johnny Cash
Oh,
had a baby. It's really cool.
you have our interests.
So your two favorite people, basically.
Basically, two of my
Yeah.
favorite people
Yeah.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me think here. How do you think the internet/social media has changed the music industry? And is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
It's a bit of both, I guess. You know, because it's easier to get your stuff out there and to get your stuff seen and heard, but it's also harder because there's just everybody's doing it. It's the same reason I'm not a big social media fan. Actually, I had somebody last year like managing my social media because I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, it is a lot.
It's a lot of it's just a lot of thinking that I just don't really have time for. And I'm not like a lot of people are great with that stuff. They'll just take a quick video, all of a sudden like TikTok will get how many, views, and I just don't have that personality. I guess introvert comes in there.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, so it's a good thing, but it's harder to stand out. So you got to do crazier and crazier things to you're smiling like you're like, yep, I know.
He's on TikTok all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's good for my business. It's the number one platform now. It's better than YouTube.
It's crazy.
I
It's
understand.
crazy. I guess because it's such a short.
Yeah, people don't have any. You can't pay attention, man.
Right.
Like you and I can, dog can, because we grew up without phones. That's the
know.
thing I was explaining to my 23-year-old niece, and she's like, "You don't have your phone?" I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Well, where is it?" I said, "I don't know, man. Like I put it on I think it's inside somewhere." She's like, I couldn't even do that." And I said, "I know, that's the problem. So you have to learn how to live without it."
How to be a human being.
Yeah, eye-to-eye conversation
Yeah.
and enjoy 2 minutes of peaceful time without looking at a phone. There's a really good there's a good way of practicing it. I was trying to teach her is you stare at one place on the wall for 2 full minutes. Just practice your focus. And that's a messed up thing that I'm actually having to explain that to them, because even as a kid I didn't have all the focus in the world, but I could look at you in the eye and have a conversation and pay attention, and for a full hour if I needed to, whereas I don't know how teachers do it now, man. Like the kids, like with their phones and stuff, like.
Well, even like I work in the school system and I'm working with 6 and 7-year-olds, right? And it's like you have to explain it and you have to use small sentences because they're going to be like, after about 30 seconds, they're gone.
That's too bad.
Yeah, and and they don't have the phones in their pockets yet.
Yeah. Well, even at the concert, I mean, I did take a few videos, but I put my phone away.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed being the atmosphere and seeing the band, right?
There's a band. I saw Tool last winter.
And
they don't allow you to use your phone at the show.
That's cool.
And the whole show, they had security going around. If they saw somebody taking a picture, they were on them like so fast. And then for the final song, they were like, okay, take out your freaking phones. And everybody was happy for one song. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And it was a cool vibe. It was something like, like when you're at a concert and there's somebody in front of you filming the whole time, I mean, for me, that ruins the show. I just don't like that. You know, for me, I'll take a couple videos, quick, 10-second, 30-second, whatever, put it away. You know, then maybe a couple songs later, do it again. So, you know, I think you got to be mindful of people around you, because if you're in front of somebody behind somebody taller than you, and they're taking video of the whole show, that's a bit of a bummer.
Totally.
Yeah, especially when they're standing up to do it, and you're like, come on, dude, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and the other problem is you're not actually experiencing the show. You're not you're not going to remember the moment. And you know, like when we saw, like I had my phone off for most of even Rage, and hearing Tom Morello do a solo, I experienced it because it was awesome.
And sadly, I caught that on video.
Yeah. Fair enough. And that's the thing too. You can always find the video somewhere. But
exactly.
But no, I agree. I prefer going to a show, an outdoor show, and just experiencing it, because it's the people that give you the vibe that, like I was saying, I get my energy from others. It's like people around you enjoying a show makes you enjoy it even more.
That's what makes live music so great.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
So what time of the day are you most productive? Are you a morning guy, pop up, ready to go, or is it kind of like sometime in the afternoon? So morning guy.
Very much morning. I'm up at 5 o'clock every day.
Okay.
And I actually start the day with probably about half an hour of guitar playing. Just
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Just every day. Sometimes more, depending on my mood. But like, I just kind of need to ease into the day a bit. And I'm a pretty light sleeper, so I just like to. Like sometimes I'll just wake up early and I'll just start songwriting.
Yeah.
And that'll be a good time to get through some stuff when nobody's the world is still quiet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that part of your mental health? Would you say?
What do you mean?
Like, do you find that helping with your mental health in the morning, waking up early and playing guitar, is that a great way to start your day and like kind of mindset?
No, I suffer from fairly significant anxiety, so I definitely think the guitar playing especially is like very therapeutic, and it just kind of allows me to relax. And not because most people when they wake up they check their phones, they watch TV or something with the screen, you know.
Yeah. I don't. But yeah,
you know, and I have a dog, so I walk early in the morning too. So, it definitely helps to chill. Yeah, relax into the day.
There's a book called The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. He's a Canadian author, and that's exactly what he says.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, you pop up in the morning. The first thing, like you said, you do that, or you do some exercise, and then you kind of get into your whatever, and you ignore electronics for like 2-3 hours until you get into your day.
Oh yeah,
an amazing read.
I get into I have an above ground pool, and it's never hot.
Nice.
So first thing I do in the morning is go in the pool, and
amazing.
It's cold. And I
wake you up.
Yeah, and I've done the ice baths and all that stuff too. But then I'll journal, and then I'll take the dog for a tour, and then I've
been trying to do the journaling thing more. I just can't like.
There's a couple out there that are called the 1 minute journal or the 5 minute journal. And those are good to get into it. You kind of you say what you're grateful for a minute.
Yeah,
and then you get out. And then, I started with that. Then I have another one that I write a bit longer in. But. Yeah, the morning routine is so key, and everybody just fires right onto their phone.
It's too much. It's just like you can't. That's why it's so toxic to like be on. I hate Twitter. I'm not on Twitter.
I mean, neither.
Can you imagine just like we live in a world where like everyone's opinion about everything is constantly available? Like how crazy do you think you'll be if you read everyone's opinion about it? Like you're on YouTube.
Yeah.
We all go to the YouTube comments, and I try to not to, but sometimes you just, doom scroll a little bit.
Oh yeah. That's a great little
doom scroll.
Yeah. I like that.
And speaking of Sharma, is that the guy that wrote The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari?
He sure did.
Yeah, that's a great book.
I have all of his books. He's amazing.
Yeah. I didn't know he was Canadian.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he's from Toronto area. He talks about Toronto all the time. And he's a big proponent of listening to music. Like he loves his music, and like what you guys were talking about, like the journaling and that stuff, he does all of that as well. That's one of his things is like you get up in the morning, you do this, and you ignore everything else until a certain time of the day, and then boom.
Yeah.
got a few clams in the bank too.
He does. Yeah, he does, and his books are amazing.
Funny,
No Ferraris though.
Yeah. No, he sold it. He sold it. But I think he was actually in the business sector in Toronto, and was like a trader, a day trader. And that's what
that'll do a number on you.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I'm sure. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was parallels between that and the book, because in the book, the main character was a lawyer, a high-end lawyer, who just gave it all up because of the stress.
Yeah, I think, but it's a true story, though. It's about one of his buddies.
Yeah. It just kind of got me when I first saw it. I was like, that's an interesting name for a book. And I was like, okay.
5 a.m. Club, right?
No, the first one. The Monk was
no, but that's the name of the book is the 5 a.m.
His second last book is called The 5 a.m. Club.
Okay.
It's an amazing read.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, it's very good. I can lend it to you if you want.
Cool.
Shit.
You don't have to buy it. I have it at home.
He's probably got you can listen to it too.
Yeah, you can do the audio.
Libby.
But that would kind of throw it right off, right? Hey, Rob and Sharma want you to read a book instead of listening to one.
But usually they are the ones that read it to you.
But he's a big proponent again of reading every day and reading, about your heroes.
I have to. I read before bed every day.
Read about Bono. Read about this. Read about Johnny Cash. Read about whatever.
For sure. Oh yeah.
If you had to write a book tomorrow, what would you write about?
I've actually had passing thoughts about writing a book, because
would it be about Knoxdale Public School?
It would be about our friendship at Knoxdale,
because that would sell.
It would be a bestseller.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
New York Times.
Yeah.
just put a picture of us on the front. Well, we'll sell, bud.
We know that Gus's mom would buy one, so there's one coming.
Yeah. That's true.
I guess I was pretty. Like the last record I did with my previous band was a lot. It was centered a lot around privacy and social media, and kind of like living in a social media age where we all don't have any privacy and people willingly give up their privacy. I find that to be a really fascinating topic, and I've always been interested in like what that does to culture,
Wow.
and what it does to you as a person. Like that's why I'm not big on social media. Like I don't think anybody cares what I'm like when I find something cool at a store or something. Just like, when you're just posting random stuff like that, sometimes when I post it, I'm thinking to myself, nobody cares about this. Not to be negative, but
no, you're not wrong.
No,
but it's silly stuff. And I do wonder, like I said before, about being constantly subjected to people's opinions, which are, let's be honest, like there's a lot of hateful stuff out there.
Twitter alone, like that's why I got off of Twitter for that reason alone. Political talk and it's like
politics,
get me
religion,
out of here.
like
get me out of here.
Cancel culture is something I really strongly despise.
Yeah,
and that's something too. Like it's an interesting, like sociological question, because you're giving power to all these people that have all of a sudden can like ruin someone's career.
I know
that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that ethically, if you have ethics, you and you work in a building, you're not going to be someone that's going to be part of the cancel culture. But like that whole thing it's ludicrous, man. It's like how does somebody's opinion or how are you affected by somebody posting something about their opinion, and you have the wherewithal to have to comment on it?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It's
like
just,
you have that much
appeals
time
to your narcissism, right?
Exactly,
it appeals to everyone's narcissistic qualities.
You got that much time on your hands?
Yeah, exactly.
You're worried that much about some guy in Mumbai to just put something up. Some guy in Mumbai. I don't know why I rhymed it out. Yeah. It's the hip hop in me.
There you go.
Okay,
do it.
Yeah, 80s or 90s music?
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh, I can't answer that question.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Like, which one do I like better?
Yes. What one works for you better?
Like, I mean, the 90s were completely formative for me, so I would have to choose the 90s. But as I got older, I want much more. Like, I don't listen to any 90s music anymore, really. I much more appreciate the 80s, and I think that's the better decade of music overall. But the 90s just had this crazy impact on, like, guys our age. You know?
For sure.
Especially with, and I don't. This doesn't come out in my music whatsoever, but I love the old 90s hip-hop stuff.
shaking her head.
I mean, you know, the Dr. Dre and the Snoop and all that kind of stuff.
That's my formative years.
Right. That's what I mean. It's just, it was so culturally impactful, especially like in the LA riots, you know?
For sure.
I love that early Ice Cube.
Oh, Ice Cube's my favorite.
You know, the Predator, right?
Yes.
Like that's the most intense.
It's so good.
Right? It's so crazy. Like there's a song on that record, Predator, called Wicked.
Oh,
do you know that song?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Ice Cube track. It's so crazy intense, and you can just kind of picture.
I like No Vaseline because it's just like getting rid of the NWA and going on his own mold and proving that. Well, he was the writer.
He was NWA anyways.
He was
really
the best part of it.
Oh yeah.
But you know, and I like Eazy-E. Sure, Dre obviously is
Dre's
amazing.
Oh yeah.
However, Cube was the talent.
Oh yeah,
he was a poet, man.
Yeah, and the movie was great too, right?
So great, and it showed you exactly that. And his son looks exactly like him.
So weird.
I know.
So weird.
I know. And
but
then
it was great. Yeah.
But the early '90s. I remember I was talking to Mark from Mecca Stank, and we were talking about albums that were like. I'll ask you the same question, but what album was so influential on you? And I was like, The Chronic.
Yeah.
The original Chronic, when it came out, I was like 12 years old, and I was like, "That's the day I became a man." You know, when you hear the lyrics, you know, 1, 2, 3 into the 4, and then you just like,
it's Snoop, like Doggy Style was kind of that for me. Nevermind was that for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess around that 91,
like Cobain,
92.
Or Nirvana.
Nirvana, Nevermind. Yeah, I mean that was a behemoth. I also really, really love Soundgarden. I'm a big Soundgarden.
So am I.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, huge fan.
I was,
and that's even Audio Slave. I like them with when Chris was yeah.
I saw
not that they're the same, but
I was very lucky to see Soundgarden once. They played Blues Fest about 10 years ago. I saw Audio Slave like 2005 maybe.
Sick.
And then I saw Chris Cornell solo.
I love that guy.
I mean,
he's my favorite. He's one of my favorite frontmen ever.
Yeah, I honestly, he is my favorite frontman ever. He's my favorite singer ever. I think you asked me earlier, Dog, about who I'd like to collab with.
Yep.
I mean, my God.
Yeah, I'm still here, by the way.
There was a guy, I saw Cornell live, and he had a guy coming up on the stage to sing the song Hunger Strike with him. So the guy sang Eddie Vedder's parts of Hunger Strike. And it was just so exciting to see that.
How amazing is that?
I was
that song is like iconic.
Oh yeah,
it is for sure.
Pretty couple good band members in that
couple,
band.
They're okay.
They're all right.
Yeah.
If you like the '90s stuff. Joke.
You're an 80s guy then.
Well, just because of the age thing. I mean, that you talk about the formative years. Like growing up, the '80s was my.
I love the '80s too.
I do too. My we just tease. We both just love music.
Because I'm a '90s guy for sure.
Yeah.
And then I do like '80s tunes too, right? Like
I kind of have
Love
to.
Shack. You know what a track.
Yeah, I kind of have to. Doing an '80s show, I have to really kind of.
Well, of course, and there's some '80s song. I listen to '80s now. Like I put it on and listen to it. So
yeah.
I was listening to it on my way here.
Yeah, and there's some good albums in the '80s too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple.
Full Moon Fever.
Yep.
That's like Tom Petty's. That's probably his best album, to be honest.
Right up there.
Andrew, you still here?
Still here.
Yes. I don't know what to say.
You guys are lost for words.
Yes,
no. Okay,
no, never.
So don't worry, I don't bite. You just
you're casually here. Yeah. Are you still? It's pretty hot in here still, eh?
Hot in here.
What's the biggest surprise you've had in the last few months, and why? Could be years too.
Well, actually, this is a really left field one, but
bring it.
I got into grad school.
Really?
And I applied. I can't even tell you how many times I've applied over the last few years. And then this past year, I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. But I'll just send in a couple just why not? Like, I don't know. I guess I had nothing better to do. And I got in.
Nice.
Grad school?
Yeah. I started in September. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's just part-time. It's online and stuff like that. So it's easy to kind of.
What was your major?
I was a science geek. Yeah, I majored in biology.
Did you go to Ottawa U?
I went to Carleton. Yeah. So, yeah, that was definitely a shocker. I was actually at a show with a buddy of mine in Toronto, and and I had the phone off the whole time. And after the show ended, I took the phone out and I saw like McMaster has rendered a decision regarding your application. And I was like, oh no, do I want to look at this now? I just had a great night. So I opened it up and they were like, we're excited to offer you blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I don't think I've ever been more in shock in my life, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I was really surprised because I had so many failures before that.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to,
keeping the dream alive.
Yeah, I guess so. And,
There you go.
you know, but
That's
the
awesome.
music's always gonna be there. So I'm just pushing that music out as much as I can. So
No, that's awesome, man.
yeah.
Yeah, who needs to sleep anyway?
Yeah, exactly. So when do you anticipate the new album being released?
So I'm gonna announce it probably next week.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna aim for probably an early October release.
Cool.
Maybe late September. I am going to Nashville in September, so I think I should maybe just wait until I get that out of the way and then come back and then we'll do a CD release show.
Do you think you'll play there? You think you'll perform in Nashville?
I'm going to try to.
That'd be cool.
There's a lot of open mics going around there. And I follow a lot of Nashville like musicians on Instagram, and they're always announcing shows, and like a lot of like collaborative, like a bunch of artists will come to one show and they'll all do a short set.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like an open mic, I guess, but it's not actually an open mic, I guess. But worst case, I'll go and attend the shows and meet people and whatever. And if I can get up there and sing some twang, I don't know.
Nice. Go to the Bluebird Cafe.
The Bluebird and another place called the Local.
Yep.
Those are like the two big spots I keep.
You should buy a guitar when you're down there. And then
Carter Vintage Guitars is pretty famous down there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there for sure.
And boots and cowboy hats.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
where
know
got
if
mine. Really nice
get
ones.
yourself some boots.
Yeah,
So you can get really good deals on boots down there, man.
Really?
Yep.
Maybe you should go.
Yeah, we should.
I'm sure the big burly Lebanese guy will fit it right in. And
Yeah.
Nashville
Oh,
and the
absolutely.
boots.
Absolutely.
How y'all doing?
Yeah. Hey, how y'all doing there?
How y'all
What's your background? I'm Lebanese.
Uh-oh.
Born and raised.
Raised.
Well, Andrew, thank you so much for your time. It was so great to see you. So great to catch up, and look for that album when it comes out. Buy it on vinyl.
Yeah, buy it on vinyl
On
or CD.
vinyl.
Don't stream it, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell you that it's going to be called Maybe I'm Blind.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
Yes, that's the title of the record.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Which is also one of the songs.
One of those tracks. Yeah.
Yep.
So one of the title tracks.
Yeah.
The title track.
Well, it'll be the title track because it's titled Maybe I'll Be. Yeah. So there we go.
Oh,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks,
I know.
dog.
You're welcome.
You've been on fire today.
I have been.
You're a little sarcasticness.
Not me.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Andrew, pleasure, buddy. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
for
thanks for
having
coming
me.
out, Andrew. It was
Appreciate
awesome.
Thanks
Yeah.
a lot.
Have a good week, guys.
And everybody.